how the New York Times actively vouched for the veracity of its false narrative.
We actually want all evidence to come out that's proper and appropriate evidence.
So everything is falling down for you guys because people perceive you as bullies.
Blake Lively's lawyer just quit this mess because even he couldn't take the embarrassment anymore. Justin Baldoni's lawyer dropped insane evidence so brutal it made Blake's legal team rethink all their life choices.
We actually want all evidence to come out that's proper and appropriate evidence.
1 minute Blake's out here playing the victim, the next, her own defense jumps ship faster than you can say courtroom disaster. And trust me, when your own lawyer is done with you, you know it's game over.
Have to be a full-blown, I am sorry, I lied, I am a terrible person, tail in between the legs, and that's what we deserve.
Imagine filing the most ridiculous lawsuit of your life, making wild accusations, calling yourself the victim, spinning the media to paint yourself like some fragile damsel. And boom, your own lawyer says, yeah, no thanks, I'm out. Blake's lawyer, Merle. Conan literally quit after Baldoni's lawyer. Brian Friedman dropped an opposition so brutal even the PR machine couldn't clean it up, and let's be real, nobody blames Conan for jumping ship. Blake's case was already a sinking Titanic, and Conan wasn't about to go down with it.
I just kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable. You know, it was undeniable.
And here's the kicker. The chaos really exploded when Baldoni's team casually rolled out 170 pages of straight-up receipts. Like, not a few texts, not a he said, she said no. A full-on 170-page document filled with emails, messages, and facts that basically shredded every single word Blake threw out there.
Then they publish 170 pages of perfectly documented texts and emails between all the parties that basically show Blake to be the aggressor. Here's the proof.
Every claim she made gone vanished, torn apart piece by piece. And watching her team scramble after that priceless.
That's the whole point of a lawsuit, is you just start with allegations. And allegations are not evidence. They're just statements of fact that help establish this is the claim that I'm bringing.
Now Blake's PR team. Oh, they're on life support. You can practically hear the panic in their offices. The same team that was out here cozying up with the media, crafting perfect headlines to make her look like Hollywood's biggest victim. Yeah, they're losing control.
You guys were complicit here. You guys were involved in this every step of the way.
It was monstrous what she did, and she's got to pay for it.
Live birth porn.
$650 million worth of lawsuits looming over Blake like a wrecking ball. And the funniest part, her own team finally realizes she has zero chance to win.
Most people cannot afford, even if he was worth a certain amount, cannot afford $100 million. And then when you attach penalties and you add interest and all of these things, it is a nightmare, an absolute nightmare for them.
Which brings us right to Merle Conan, the lawyer, who probably woke up one morning, looked at all the mess, and thought, yeah, I'm not about to ruin my career defending this circus, and can you blame her? Because from the start, this lawsuit wasn't built on facts, it was built on, and I quote, smoke and mirrors.
And I knew a bit about her. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want.
No credible proof of harassment, no documents proving body shaming, not a single receipt about breastfeeding issues, just loud, dramatic claims with nothing solid to back it up, basically. It's like Blake pulled a script straight out of her gossip. Girl days and forgot, real life requires evidence. Brian Friedman didn't just casually file his opposition. He buried Blake's entire case under legal facts. He exposed how Blake's team didn't rely on any actual proof, they were relying on PR media. Headlines and some desperate sob story.
I looked through every document, every email, every text message.
And when the other side comes in swinging with hard facts, well, the lawyer saw the writing on the wall. Quitting was the only way to save herself before she sank with Blake's wreck. But that's not even the juiciest part. Let's talk about how Blake's PR team thought they could pull off the ultimate magic trick.
How this filing is pure comedy and insanity. It literally contradicts itself, and it's not even admissible because of certain things that are in there.
Remember that infamous December 2024 article from the New York Times? Yeah, Blake's PR team pushed that narrative like their careers depended on it. They used the Times to frame Baldoni as the villain, playing the classic Hollywood victim card, but fast forward. Guess what? That strategy didn't age well. Baldoni's team dismantled the entire narrative, showing how the media played right into Blake's hands without fact-checking a damn thing. Everything.
And it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing? Like, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit.
Now, the same PR team that thought they had the upper hand is stuck in panic mode. Oh, and if you thought they were just spin doctors, think again. PR manager Leslie Sloan, the woman behind Blake's image, is also named in Baldwin's $400 million lawsuit.
As we know, Justin Baldoni is suing him, Blake Lively, and their PR person, Leslie Sloan, for $400 million.
Yes, the very team hired to save Blake's public image is now a legal liability themselves. I mean, how bad do you have to mess up that your PR team becomes part of the lawsuit? And here's where it gets even better with discovery underway. The PR teams. Dirty laundry is at serious risk of spilling out confidential texts, shady backroom conversations, all those carefully crafted media campaigns. They're all sitting there waiting to be exposed. Baldwin's team isn't playing nice anymore. They're dropping. Receipts and Blake's team, they can't stop it. The more they try to contain it, the more it blows up in their faces.
But it looks as though she's a narcissist, like an actual diagnosed narcissist.
What's hilarious is how they spent all their time controlling the media narrative, thinking they were untouchable. But guess what? Courts don't care about PR spins. They care about cold, hard evidence, and right now Blake's got none. Her lawyer knows it. Her PR team knows it. Hollywood knows it. And the public sure as hell knows it. All that's left is Blake standing there watching every piece of her fake story fall apart.
Do not believe Blake Lively is that, but again, you can clearly see, in my opinion, the narcissism at bare minimum that's going on with her.
And can we take a second to talk about how everyone, and I mean everyone, is putting sense into Blake? Now her lawyer bailed, the media's gone quiet. Insiders are whispering that she's cooked. Even her PR team looks like they're ready to quit and switch careers. But Blake, she's still pretending like she's got a shot at this point. The only person who believes Blake has a chance is Blake herself. And that's the saddest part.
Yeah, and again, at the same time, Nathan assembled a team that could dominate social media through full social account takedowns by starting threads of theories and,
Hold that thought.
here we go, generally working to change the narrative. So it's impossible to know how much they planted and how much of it originated organically. Well, wait a minute.
She's out here clinging to this lawsuit like it's some last-ditch power move, when in reality it's the anchor dragging her down. Hollywood doesn't have time for someone who tried to play the system, got caught, and now wants to play victim when the plan backfires.
You know, where this money is. This isn't like who has the cash for this type of lawsuit.
And let's not forget, this whole disaster didn't happen overnight. It took Blake's team months of media manipulation, desperate PR stunts, and bad legal advice to get here. But the second Brian Freriedman pulled the receipts, the whole thing imploded.
Every uncomfortable moment we felt like, well, now they could do the same thing. You know, but
Right.
Brian Friedman can say, here, exactly. Okay, you want to do a settlement? Here it is. We're going to write, you are sick people who tried to take over my movie and crush a little peanut like me just because I'm a man bun wearing, soft, beautiful soul.
Blake Lively thought she had the media wrapped around her perfectly manicured little finger, didn't she? For a hot second, it actually worked. That big, shiny New York Times article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," had her floating on clouds thinking she was untouchable. The piece basically kissed her feet, framing every one of her wild accusations against Justin Baldoni like they were gospel truth. I mean, the NYT might as well have stamped it. Certified Blake Lively.
Thin-skinned outrage, essentially, over us bullying you. That doesn't make you look good on paper. It doesn't make you look good in the court of public opinion. It makes you look like what you actually are, which are a bunch of bullies who think can get away with everything.
Because Brian Freriedman didn't come to play. His legal response didn't just poke holes in the Times' little article. It ripped it to absolute shreds. Straight up accused the NYT of violating fair report privilege, which in normal words means the Times crossed the line from reporting to straight up promoting Blake's fake story. Instead of just saying Blake Lively alleges XYZ, they framed it like they had done some deep investigative digging, confirming every bit of her nonsense problem. They had zero proof to back it up. Freriedman called them out for packaging Blake's lies like facts, and honestly, it's poetic